Good morning, everyone. My name is Melissa Tuff, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral. And I would like to welcome you to the meditation portion of this Sunday's celebration service. As we begin, I ask that you place your feet flat on the floor, if you are able to do so from where you're joining us. Take a few deep and cleansing breaths to allow yourself to just settle into this sacred communal space. As we begin taking these breaths and settling into this space, allow yourself to relax into a meditative posture, keeping your back nice and straight, feet firmly planted, becoming aware of the ease and grace of your breath. Allow and make yourself welcome to this space. I would like you to spend a little time calling forth an experience of God. Make an intention in your mind and heart and gut that God shows up for you in this sacred space. Sometimes we just have to sit and be quiet and be willing. Some words that might help are: I am open and receptive. I am present to an experience of God. Sit for a bit and allow any sense of God to present itself to you. We talk about God as being ever present, all available, quality of love, peace, and joy. If you really knew that and believed that, how would it feel in your body? Try and allow this experience to unfold without words, without labels. There's nothing you have to say. Just notice how your body feels. It may come in a way of vision, or perhaps it's a sound. Maybe it's an emotion. So in these next few moments, set that as your intention. Say to yourself, I intend to have an experience of God, a personal, unique experience of God. I am open and available to knowing the experience of God. I am open and receptive. I am present to an experience of God. Allow yourself to let go of any judging process, any analytical process. Allow your mind to create what God is. I am open and receptive. I am present to an experience of God. Now bring your attention to your body. Be open and available to a visceral, somatic, embodied experience of God. I am open and receptive. I am present to an experience of God. Just as you allow this experience of God to be present within and around and through you, imagine what that makes you. How is it that you can experience your own expression of this divine expression that you have just called forth? This expression of God. How does it show up as you? Where is it within you? Once again, have this intention. I intend to have an experience of God, a personal experience of God. I intend to know God as me. Once again, allow yourself to be present and available to an experience of God, uniquely as you. How does it feel? What visions come forth? Is there a sound, a sensation, an emotion? Set aside any analytical experience of this and just allow the visceral, somatic experience of God to show up as you. I am open and receptive. I am present to an experience of God. As you revel in this experience of God expression as you, what do you notice about your life? What is it that you realize because this ever-present reality is living in and through you. What good is yours to claim? As thoughts and ideas come forward as the realization of your good, feel free to speak those words to yourself in your own space, in your head space. What is it you know of this experience of the divine moving in, through, around, and as you? What qualities show up? Gently place your hands over your heart, and you might notice a tingling sensation that may come about. As you inject gratitude into this moment, how does that gratitude feel within your body? Allow a sense of thanksgiving for the realization of truth of who you are. Now rest your hands on your lap or keep them on your heart if you choose. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Again, a nice audible breath in and out. Enjoy this sense of release, the knowing that all is well, that there is a law working for you in this very moment, a joyful sense of lightness, and a confidence that you are who you are. Just breathe down into your body. Allow your feet to feel their presence on the floor. Take note of how your body feels, how your mind feels, and how your heart feels in this moment. And when you are ready, open your eyes and return back to the room. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for the meditation today. And be sure to stay right where you are. Our Sunday celebration will continue in just a few moments. Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John. This is Cassie. We would like you to join us in the Big Love Band, and we're going to do our opening song, Music in My Soul. I hear music down in my soul. I hear music down in my soul. I hear music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
I got a music down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
I love silence down in my soul. I love silence down in my soul. I love silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel power down in my soul. I feel power down in my soul. I feel power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. I don't need a whole lot of money. I don't need a big fine car. I got everything a man can want. I got more than I could ask for. I don't have to run around. I don't have to stay out all night. Oh, I know the spirit that lives in me, and I know it sets my soul free. Well, the spirit lives in me. Well, the spirit lives in me. Don't you know that it's some kind of wonderful? Some kind of wonderful. Some kind of wonderful. Talking about God, yeah. Is there anybody here that knows what I'm talking about? Is there anybody here that knows what I'm talking about? Now can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Oh, can I get a witness? Don't you know that it's some kind of wonderful? Some kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful. kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful.
Can I hear a so it is?
Some kind of wonderful.
Can I hear an amen?
Some kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful. Some kind of wonderful.
I think it's quite amazing that we do not send out a memo about wardrobe. Don't you love it? We don't. That's just cool. Well, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are most certainly welcome here. I am Reverend Shaw Redfern, the spiritual director of this wonderful place called the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine here and that you can change your entire life simply by
changing your mind.
Changing your mind, change your thinking, change your life, for sure. Ernest Holmes is the founder of our faith, or our philosophy, as we prefer to call it. And we teach universal truths here that are found in contemporary teachings, old teachings, Bible, everything. We use everything as a means for teaching because the truth is, and it's apparent in all these great readings. We have prayer requests available online right now, so if you would like to have our practitioners and myself pray on something, please visit Center for Spiritual, one more time, cslcapecoral.org. Hit that prayer request button, and we'd be happy to pray on that for you. Also, if you're not receiving our e-blast, it comes out twice a week. It's really brief, and you would like to visit cslcapecoral.org, hit the Contact Us button, and let us know. We will sign you up for that. So right now, we are going to bestow a blessing on each other and everybody at home. So I'm going to have everybody in the sanctuary stand on up. And let's give ourselves a blessing here. Ready? Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the Center.
I've always liked the idea of a lighthouse as being a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment. And that's kind of what I was thinking about last January when I wrote this tune. There have been dark times in my life. There were times I could hardly see. There were times when it seemed like the whole wide world shut off its light for me. There were times that I felt so bad. Despair had taken its toll, like I was shut up in a windowless room. The dark night of the soul was when I saw the beacon of light, saw the beacon of hope, felt the tower of strength, giving me the power to cope, lighting up my path, showing me the proof. It was there all the time, the lighthouse of truth. Now when the sun seems to disappear, storm clouds fill the skies, I know hope is always near. I just have to open my eyes. It stands taller than the trees, and its light is shining true over the raging seas. Promise for me and you, on and on illuminating where I need to go. Never is it faltering, never does it grow. When I think about how I got here, I sometimes wonder about the changes in me. From a person who lived in fear to a person who is living free. If I just keep moving ahead, living life day by day, accepting my daily bread, truth to light my way, that's when I'll see the beacon of light, see beacon of hope. I'll feel the tower of strength, giving me the power to cope, showing me the proof. It was there all the time, the lighthouse of truth. Yes, it was there all the time, the lighthouse of truth. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good morning again, everyone. And I would like to just say another thank you, huge, huge thank you to our Big Love Band and, of course, our wonderful guest, Ralph, for always sharing their divine talents with us. So thank you. As usual, in preparation for today's reading, I went down a rabbit hole of Ernest Holmes' wisdom. And on the topics of wisdom and evolution, I ultimately found myself drawn to the passage entitled The Great Awakening, which is on page 487 of the Science of Mind text. Now it is a high time to awake out of sleep. The belief in a life apart from good is a dream from which we must awake if we are to taste the waters of reality which flow from the source of life. As one awakens from a nightmare, so the mentality awakes from the dream of a living death to a realization of eternal life. We cast off the works of darkness when we realize that evil is not an entity, but a fraud. The armor of light is truth, the very knowing of which makes free. This awakening is a process of evolution, a little here and a little there, until the whole eye is opened and we see that life is neither separate from God nor different from good. Life is God, and good is the only power there is or can be. To awaken oneself is to be healed, made prosperous, happy, and satisfied, to be made every whit whole, to be complete as we were intended to be. God is a God of the living and not of the dead. He sees and knows only perfection and completion, happiness and satisfaction. When we shall think of ourselves as God knows us, then complete salvation will come to us. So let us take these thoughts and words into prayer. It is with great gratitude and confidence that I speak my truth. I realize that there is one mind, one presence, one infinite, limitless source back of all creation, flowing in, through, and as all things. And I name it God. I claim my unity with the One and know there is no separation. This one mind lives, moves, and has its being by expressing through a myriad of unique and individualized forms, such as myself. As I embody this truth, I recognize and take responsibility for my thoughts, words, and actions, which contribute and create not only my personal reality, but also the collective consciousness. Little by little, I awaken to the realization that good and more good is mine, so much as I am willing to accept and make welcome. And I consciously create this good through my commitment to spiritual practices, loving intentions, and mindful right action. I know for a fact that God is truly all there is, and I am awakening and recognizing the presence of God in all, acting as all, flowing through all, regardless of any appearance to the contrary. God is in all, acting as all, and flowing through all at all times. I'm fully open, receptive, and present to Spirit and its guidance, knowing that God, the universe, or whatever other label I want to apply does not make mistakes, and life is always unfolding for me in the best way possible for my further evolution. drawing me nearer to the one. And so it is with a grateful heart that I express my appreciation for this divine knowledge. And in doing so, from this space, I lovingly and confidently release these words and intentions to the one mind, knowing they have been heard and responded to with great grace, great ease, and for my highest and best. So please join me in claiming this by saying, and so it is. And now let's welcome Reverend Shell to the stage.
Oops. There. Thanks, Mark. Good morning. No coincidence at all. I mean, I didn't even glance at the notes and wait until you hear the story. You look at the wardrobe, no coincidence in spirit. I tell you what, there is no coincidence at all. I'm going to start today, and this is a slightly off color-ish story about a man named Jack. And Jack is an atheist. Jack dies and finds himself in hell. And Satan approaches him and says, "Hey, Jack, welcome." And he goes, "Well, I guess I had it wrong the whole time, huh? Here I am in hell." And Satan says, "Well, it's really not that bad, Jack. Come on, I'll show you around." So Satan takes Jack across this beautiful field, a beautiful rolling field, and there's flowers, there are horses playing in the distance, and it's lovely. There's a nice brook there and everything, and they get to this little village, and as they're walking through, people stop Satan and Jack and invite them in for a drink and something to eat. And they go in and they have a couple cocktails and they have some food, and they just continue down the pathway of this village, going from place to place, and people are coming out, "Oh, Satan, hey, come on in." And Satan turns out to be charming, absolutely charming. He can play music and sing, and he's just entertaining as heck with his stories and stuff. And the day goes on, and this is how they spent the day. And so as the day is coming to an end, Satan says, "Come on, Jack, I'll show you where you're going to spend eternity." Jack says, "All right." And as they're walking down the path, there's this huge wall over here. And Jack says, "What's in there?" And Satan says, "It's none of your concern. It doesn't have anything to do with you. You can just leave that be." Jack says, "All right." And they come up to a beautiful house. It's got a brook out back, lovely trees and flowers and everything. And Satan says, "This is yours." Jack's like, "You're kidding." Nope, this is yours. "Now listen," Satan says, "I'll come back tomorrow and I'll show you the rec center. I'll finish your tour of hell, and then you can settle on in." Jack says, "Okay." And so he goes into the house, but he can't get that wall off his mind. He just keeps thinking about that wall. And so he gets up out of bed and he starts down the path to where the wall is. And he notices, because it's dark now, that there's a hole in the wall and there's like light glowing out of the wall. So he goes over to the wall, goes to that hole and peeks in. And inside there, he sees what he thought hell was going to be like. There's fire and brimstone, and people are in agony, and they're screaming, and they're clawing at each other, trying to get out, and it's just horrible. It's horrible. So he backs away from the hole really quick, runs back to his house, and is there all night, just freaked out, totally freaked out by what he saw. So the next morning, Satan comes back, and he picks Jack up, and he said, "Come on, let's complete our tour." And he says, Satan, I don't want to go there." And Satan says, "What are you talking about? We're going to the rec center." And Jack says, "No, I don't want to go into that hell. I saw the fire and brimstone. I don't want to go there." And Satan says, "Well, Jack, I told you that wasn't yours. That you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen to you." And Jack said, "Well, what is that?" And Satan said, "Well, that's the Christian hell." And Jack says, "What?" "Well, that's the Christian hell." And Jack says, "Why is it like that?" And Satan says, "I don't know, man. I don't know. They just want it that way." I tried so hard to release that story. I did. Because it was one of those when I got to the punchline, you saw me look at my notes so I would say it right. They just want it that way. That was like a 2x4 up my head. Whap! You know, you ever get one of those? Cheapers. They just want it that way. And for all my Christian brothers and sisters that might be watching this video, I mean you no disrespect. I truly mean you no disrespect. But that was the hell of my upbringing. It was. And I've learned that hell is a state of mind now. That we can create heaven or hell here on earth. It's up to us. So our theme today is looking ahead. And I think it's really important to keep in mind that we create heaven or hell. Isn't that story a great illustration of that? It really is, and that's why I couldn't release it. That their beliefs were so powerful that hell could be something wonderful, and they're not there to experience it because they want it some other way. We are always at choice, and we always get to choose our experience. So as we are looking ahead, what are we choosing as our experience? Are we walking in faith, or are we walking with an idea of what it's going to feel like, so we end up creating that for ourselves? We've got a lot that's been going on since the beginning of this year, don't we? We had that mess at the Capitol a while back. We had a president sworn in with guards and no people there. Between COVID and the events that preceded that, that was weird, wasn't it? That's not what an inauguration looks like here. It was weird. And it's very easy to now come to expect more weirdness. It's easy to come to expect more sorrow. And especially when we're being given information that we don't necessarily like so much. We can expect to be sad. We can expect to be angry. We can expect to be fear-filled. Or we can lean into faith. One of the other stories I stumbled upon while preparing for today's talk was in Chicken Soup for the Soul. And it was about a woman who was asking God in the morning. She's laying in bed, and she's having a conversation with God, and she says, God, what is mine to do today? And she figured that it would be something like volunteer at an organization of some kind, something worthwhile. And God said, go to Costco. And she's like, go to Costco? And then she's like, okay, I had to have gotten that wrong. I absolutely had to have gotten that wrong. Spirit, what is for me today? Go to Costco. And she's like, well, Spirit says go to Costco, I'll go to Costco. All right, that was on my list today anyway. So she gets up, gets dressed, goes to Costco. And as she's walking around Costco, she's trying to figure out why she's supposed to be there. So for the first time, she puts her phone on silent, and she doesn't try to multitask while she's shopping. And she's actually noticing the people that are in Costco for the first time as she's walking around. And she notices that she's walking more slowly, and she's actually enjoying the Costco experience. She's enjoying being out. She's enjoying shopping. She's enjoying having enough money to buy whatever they need for the family. And she finds herself in this state of deep gratitude just for being, for the day, for how it's unfolding. She gets up to check out, and she looks at her watch, and she realizes that she's been walking around Costco for an hour and a half, and now she's behind on time. And she starts to feel herself panic. And she went, wait. She caught herself. And she said, I was just in gratitude. How could I shift from this kind of gratitude to this kind of panic that quickly? It'll be okay. However it unfolds, it'll be okay. And she's really getting into this gratitude thing. So she puts all of her groceries into her car, brings it home, and she notices as she's putting her groceries away that normally unpacking from Costco was a pain. She didn't like it. She didn't like all the big packages. She didn't like going back and forth to the car. She didn't like going up and down the stairs. And she decided to view it differently that day with gratitude. And it changed everything. It changed her entire experience. So she's in the kitchen. Her daughter comes home from middle school, looks at her, and apparently she had a goofy grin on her face. Her daughter says, "What's with you, Mom? You know, you look happy for some reason." And she said, "I am. I'm happy. I'm in a state of gratitude. This is great." And then her husband came home from work early. And she was happy to see him, but then took one look at his face and went, uh-oh. He was ashen, he was drawn and teary. And he said, "My boss came to me today and decided to downsize. I lost my job. I don't know what we're going to do for money. I don't know what." And she found herself in a state of panic for a moment. And then she looked at her feet and she realized that the reason that she was supposed to go to Costco was so that she could learn what gratitude was and learn what being in the moment was, what being fully present. That was the gift from Spirit for her in the Costco experience, and fortunately she got it. So she was able to release, this fear that her husband was experiencing and embrace him and bring him to peace. And she said that it was a life-changing experience for her, that trip to Costco, the idea of being present in the right now moment, and the idea of being in gratitude all the time. That choice is always ours. That choice is always ours. So in as much as we can construct our own hell, we can also construct our own heaven. And it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. We are always, always, always at choice. So there's a number of things to discuss from these things. Looking ahead, Power of Choice. And again, no coincidence. I did not pick this title. It just was this week. And so I've been looking ahead a lot, and I've been journaling about it, and I've been meditating about it, and I've been trying to figure out what's seeking to emerge by means of me, because I've been feeling some unrest. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there? When you just feel like something's not in alignment here. And usually when something's not in alignment here, it shows up as either a vision of what's to come, or pain. It can show up like pain, like being in a situation hurts, or it can show up any of a number of ways. But Spirit will give us nudges. Until Spirit doesn't give us nudges, it gives us a kick in the butt. We've all been there. We've all been there. So this has been happening with me lately, so I've really been entertaining it. I've been praying a lot. I've been journaling a lot. I have been seeking counsel with people that are a lot smarter than me a lot, because this is what I do when I start to feel this unrest. And I've come to understand something that I need to share with y'all. I have come to understand that this is my spiritual center, and I love it more than I can tell you. But it's not my ministry anymore. It has been my ministry for the last 4 years. I've been in this position for 4 years. And I think for the last 4 years, I was the perfect person for this position. I do. When I stepped into this position, it was in response to Reverend Catherine, and we'll talk about Reverend Catherine more too, saying to me, "Have you ever considered pulpit ministry?" And I said, "No." And she said, "I need you to." Because she was feeling the same kind of pull thing. I need to get back to California. I need to get to California. And it was pulling her hard. And she responded to that pull. Well, of course, this is 9 months after or not even, it was 6 months after, we had just um, released Reverend Emil into retirement. So the idea of us having 3 different ministers in here in the space of a year was just like, whoa, to me. And I knew that this was mine to do. I knew it was. I've been here 17 years now. Just about every single Sunday for 17 years now. And the last 4 of them as spiritual director. And I think that what our center needed at that time was stability and love. Love, stability, you know? And I knew I could bring it. I knew I was the person for the job. And I knew it was mine to do. And I stepped into that. Now, the last year, we've had this COVID crap, and it was all about technology. Guess what I did before I became a full-time minister? I was an online instructor in a college. I had been working online for 6 years. I knew how to do it in my sleep. Perfect person to be here through that transition. And now what I think is seeking to emerge, the center is very stable. Financially, thank heavens, we're very stable. Always need your gifts, you know, because we still have operating expenses, but we're very stable. You know, the community is very stable. I think what we need now is a leader that has huge vision to bring us into our greater yet to be. And I realize that's not me. That's not me, because it wasn't my vision to be a pulpit minister. I didn't have this big thing that I wanted to bring into the world as a ministry. Is this my spiritual home? Yes. Do I love it? Yes. Have I loved the last 4 years? Yes. Is it time to release it to its greater yet to be? Yes. It is. And it's not just that. That's part of it. I also have been here when ministers have had things going on in their lives that have taken them out of the center quite a bit. And this is a very full-time job. This is a very full-time position. And it hurts the center and it hurts the minister. And I have some things going on in my life right now that I have to pay attention to. And it's those 2 things that have led me to this. So at the board meeting on Monday, I resigned. And it's effective February 28th. So I'm still here for 5 weeks. And longer if they need me. I'm not going to anything. So if, as the community needs me, I'm here. The hardest part of this for me is I've been here most every Sunday for 17 years. And I got to go for a while so that somebody else can step in. That's part of the process. You know, I got to back away so somebody can fill these shoes. And so I'm going to be gone for a while. But it is my intention, and I would ask that you guys, as you're visioning and so on, I want to come back. Thank you, honey. I said, if I need a tissue, will you bring me one? Anybody else tissue? Yes, hang on. Anybody else? Tissue? All right. Where was I? Okay, I want to come back. This is my spiritual home. This is absolutely my spiritual home. And so I'm knowing that the minister, the new spiritual director, is a big personality that has room for another big personality like mine. I'm knowing that that's the case. But I need to step aside to create that space. Now, we are being very transparent with this, obviously. We are being very transparent with this whole process. We are starting a search. We have already been in contact with Home Office and have been working towards finding somebody and starting the transition process. This week in the news e-blast, I will send out contact information for the practitioners and myself. I am here to talk to any and all of you, as always. I am absolutely here to talk to any and all of you. We will have town hall meetings where we can hear what you have to say. And I also have, like I say, the practitioner information available. Lean into your practitioners at this time. Here's what I know, because I watched Reverend Emil leave, I watched Reverend Catherine leave, I watched Reverend Linda leave, that the relationship between you and me is very close, is very personal, and is a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a very big deal. It's the hardest part, and I'm here to listen. Aw, thanks, memes. So, big changes down the pike, and we get to vision what they look like. I think they're going to be stinking awesome. I do. I think they are going to be awesome. And I think that we can step up and really bring the light to this transition. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I was going to talk about Catherine. Remember how I said she was pulled to California? It was a year and a half later that she transitioned really suddenly of something really rare and really weird. And I learned from that. I learned from that. When you feel spirit pulling, go. I feel spirit pulling, but I'll be back. So the question on everybody's mind, as always, is, what would Ernest Holmes say? So glad you asked. Let us try to arrive at a place of complete acceptance in our minds, a place where we actually believe that there is a law of good and a power greater than we are responding to us. It is this inward feeling and acceptance that constitutes real faith. And it is a childlike attitude that helps us surrender this faith into the law of good. It was his complete surrender. He's talking about Jesus here, because he quoted Jesus right before this. It was his complete surrender to the law of good that enabled Jesus to perform his wonderful miracles of faith. As we meditate together then, letting go of every disturbing thought, we turn quietly, peacefully, and reverently to the Spirit, which is not only around us, but also within us. It is in this Spirit with which we commune and the law of good in which we can have faith. And so let us each say quietly to himself, I know that I can make this conscious use of the divine law of my being. Take this on in. Ready? I know that I can make conscious use of this divine law of my being. I know that this law reacts immediately and creatively to my faith. I know that when I speak this word for myself, there's a direct reaction towards me. I know that when I speak it for others, there is a direct reaction towards them. There is no doubt or uncertainty in my consciousness. I identify myself with the good I desire. I have complete confidence that the law of good will respond to me by creating the object of this desire. I have a quiet contentment and an inner sense of peace. I have an enthusiastic sense of well-being. I know that all the power there is for me. Therefore, I put on the whole armor of faith. Today and every day, I expect good. I anticipate meeting new friends. I joyously anticipate contacting new situations which will increase my livingness. My life is an adventure. I know that wonderful things are going to happen to me. I know that everything I do shall turn into good for myself and for others. Isn't that beautiful? Stunning. Stunning, stunning. That might be one that I have to post, huh? For sure. So let us take us into prayer. There's one power, one presence, one life. That is the life of spirit. That is the life of each one watching by video, each one listening later on, each one in this sanctuary, each one on this planet. Each one of us is a unique individualization of spirit. And as so, this is what I know to be sure. As we walk forward in faith, knowing that good and more good is ours, Spirit meets us right where we are with answers to problems, with peace, with calm, with joy, and with adventure for sure. As we undertake this new adventure, may it be with peace, love, and joy in our hearts. I know that the perfect spiritual director for the Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral is looking for us as I speak my word, and we will find each other soon. So for this and so much more, I'm so very grateful and thankful. It is in this gratitude that I release my word into law and know that it is done. So I invite you to anchor this with me by saying, and so it is, and so be it.
Thank you, Reverend Shaw. And each and every one of us here today embrace your decision with love, peace, and light, and knowing that great things are about to happen in your life and in this center's life. Knowing that whatever happens here is going to be full of God's grace and all good expressions exploding through through everything here. And with that, I would like to know that you are blessed, and whatever hat you wear here at this center, it is your home, just as it is every one of ours here. And I would like everyone to give another hand for Reverend Shaw, please. So good morning. My name is Karen Gidley. I'm a member of the Leadership Council, and now is our opportunity to practice the law of circulation. First, I want to thank everyone for their continued support. We rely solely on your donations to meet our obligations, and without your support, we could not keep our doors open and offer this wonderful teaching to you and to our community. And we participate in the spiritual practice of tithing. Our tithe goes to our home office, who provides our educational curriculum and support, and we donate to nonprofits in Lee County. You can text your donation to 239-320-3820, and you can use the donate button on our website, cslcapecoral.org. You may use PayPal at cslcapecoral.org, and you can mail the check to the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida 33990. And you can set up an automatic withdrawal from your bank, either weekly, biweekly, or monthly. When using Amazon, go to smile.com and select CSL as your charity of choice. A portion of your purchase will be sent to the center. And as you leave today, you'll see blue containers back by the sliding doors, each with our logo on them for cash and checks. Now, if you'll take your donation in your hand and place it over your heart and repeat the affirmation with me. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. And I wish to give a prayer of blessing over these tithings and donations. We appreciate and love. We accept these offerings and gifts. Divine love through us blesses each gift and each giver. We know that it is all that has been given here, circulated to do great works, both within our spiritual CSL community, Cape Coral, and the world at large. Standing in gratitude, I release these words, so please join me in saying, and so it is.
Karen. All right. A couple of announcecements. You can still join the grief discussion group with Melissa Arterberry. Email her, please, at marterberry1970@gmail.com for more information. Our annual meeting will be Sunday, March 22nd. We are still debating the hows, wheres of that, but we needed to announce the date, so it's definitely on Sunday, March 22nd, with the venue and time to be announced. Annual meeting coming up. Now you understand why I've been so non-committal about the classes. So we're still figuring out if I'm going to teach a class here before I go or not. But we will have the information figured out this week, and we will give you all of the information about the upcoming classes, so stay tuned. Midweek tune-up continues with me Wednesdays at noon, outside masked. It's just a lively discussion, very goofy, and it's fun. So join me Wednesdays at noon, outside for midweek tune-up. Food drive continues. Thank you to Patrick and Stephen for bringing that on over to the food pantry this week. Appreciate it. So if you've got any food you'd like to donate, please drop it by the center because the Cape Coral needs you right now in a big way. As you exit, please go out the sliders here at the side and meet me on outside, and we'll hug today, probably, or bump by elbows or whatever. So come and see me. And now it's time to stand in the light. Okay. When we stand in the light, we stand knowing the truth about a situation, what we want to see in a situation. I am standing in the light for my Aunt Peggy and my cousins who experienced the transition of my Uncle Hux this morning.
Standing in the light for my friends PJ and Mary.
I am standing in the light for all of the unspoken prayers. I invite you to speak your own name into this sacred space. And let's know together there's a healing, revealing going on right here, right now. The truth behind all situations is God, good, peace, love, light, wholeness. And that is what is emerging right here, right now, for each and every one. For this and so much more, I am grateful. I am thankful. I am, let it be. So let's anchor this together by saying, and so it is.
We let love wash over us. We let it be. We let peace, we let the peace wash over us. Yeah. Oh, we let it be. We let joy watch over us. Watch over us. Watch over and over us. Oh, we let it be. We let love, let it fill your heart, let it fill your soul. Watch over and over you. Oh, we let it be. We let love watch over us. Watch over and over us. Oh, we let it be.
Have a good week.
Have a great week, everyone.